Do you remember, Hatim? I was thinking about something that we used to do in the past. If you remember the days we used to go up on the terrace and try to tune the aerial so that we can get good channels like Abu Dhabi or Dubai.
The good old days when everybody's enjoying the best view of the movie and you're having a suntan on the roof.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, talking about that. Okay, we'll meet later. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Chat Away in UMMATI Station. Yo, yo, yo. Okay.
Yep.
So excited, huh?
How are you today?
I'm doing great, alhamdulillah. How about yourself?
I'm fine. I'm very excited because we're talking about my baby media, my passion of media. So I think it's going to be a great show, inshallah.
Inshallah. And I think media is not just your baby, but I think it's that one baby for everybody.
The adopted baby.
The adopted baby, huh? Okay. So, talking about media, what you think we can talk about? But before we do that, let me ask our viewers to please do not forget to subscribe to UMMATI Station and hit that indication button so you can get all the notifications. Please, please, please. Okay? Okay. Back to you.
You're getting good at this.
I'm trying to learn from you, man. I'm trying to learn from you, from the best.
Well, today, Ali, we're talking about the media and being a very important tool in our lives. It's something that has invaded our lives out of our, out of our own will. We wanted media in our lives first, and then with the internet now, it's in every home, whether we like it or not. So basically, we need to understand what exactly is media and how to deal with it, and to understand the most important aspects of media. So I put it in this way. The way I see it, media is the most powerful weapon in the world today. Let us go a little bit back in history, Ali, and talk about the Hiroshima bomb. It was a very powerful bomb. It hit Japan. The effect of the bomb is there until today, but we in Oman did not feel it. But with media, whatever happens in media affects everybody in the world. So this is how powerful media is. The second thing is that it reaches millions of people in an instant.
Yeah.
In the click of a button, it goes viral to everybody. Yeah. And then you cannot, defend yourself from this media. So when the attack comes from the media, from every angle, it's very difficult for you to have a shield in front of you to stop this amount of information coming towards you, because the pouring of information from all direction is just among us, and it's very difficult to control the information that we get.
Okay.
And let us not forget. Yes.
You talked about now the media at present, but maybe we should go back and look how the media used to be before. And I don't know, where do you want to start from?
I think media was there even at the beginning of time, when humans were very primitive. They didn't have the technology, the tools. And I will give you a classical example of what happened at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he started propagating the religion of Islam. the people of Quraysh, they did not like this. And they thought
Mm.
this is a threat to them. So what they did, they sent a few people to go to the outskirts of Mecca, where the caravans of the Arab tribes are coming towards the city of Mecca for pilgrimage. They come every year, specific time. So these people went to the outskirts of Mecca and started spreading the word, telling everyone that there is someone called Muhammad preaching a
Mm.
new religion, which is very dangerous. Do not listen to him because you can be brainwashed. It reached to the extent where people came to Mecca and they had some of them had covering or cotton in their ears, not to listen to what the Prophet has said, believing that he could influence them.
Yeah.
So this is media. This is basically what media does. I'll take even further. When it was after the world wars, both
Mm-hmm.
world wars, the world has lost a lot of men, especially in Europe. So industries started to propagate the idea of women, going out to work instead of men. So they wanted to fill the factories with women. So they
Mm.
started propagating this through media, encouraging women to go to join in the workforce in factories and work in assembly lines. So they used the media.
Yeah.
And there are many, many other classical examples, Ali.
Well, one of the ways to transfer information was through pigeons. So I just wanted to understand now this because I always had this question in my mind. How does the pigeon know? Okay, now we're getting some talents here. You can do mosquitoes, right? Man, man, you are the media person, man. You are the right person for media. So okay, I have this
I,
question.
Ali, I don't think anyone in the media needs these type of talents, mosquito sounds and pigeon sounds. I don't think they can get you any money.
What you need, because sometimes you know that when the person speaks in front of the television and you don't want him to continue, you have to be there next to him and do this sound. Imagine what's gonna happen. So
Back to media.
back to the pigeon. Now this question: how does the pigeon understand where to go?
Well, to clarify this, not all pigeons can do this. Only a
Mm-hmm.
specific type of pigeon that is known in Arabic, zajil. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they have a sort of a GPS mechanism in their bodies. They use waves to identify directions, and they use the sense of smell as well. They have a very good memory that
Mm-hmm.
they are able to find out the route where they came from. So that's how they find their way. So they can go to only specific directions. So you cannot take the pigeon and say, "Can you go to Ali's house?" If they don't know the
Ah.
route to Ali's house, they can't go to Ali's house.
Oh, if they know, they will go.
No, so specific pigeons are meant for this location, and specific pigeons are for this location. That's how they do it. Otherwise, you want to send a message to Ali, it goes to Salim. There's no point.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, you want to go.
if I want to send a love letter, for example, to one person, I don't want it to go to the other person by mistake.
Yeah,
How about that?
exactly. So what happens is that you raise a pigeon in one area,
Uh huh.
and then you transfer them to the other area. And then when the person in the other area wants to send you a message, he
Mm-hmm.
releases the pigeon and they go back to
Ah.
their hometown, which is to
Okay.
you. That's how
Hmm.
it works.
Okay. Okay. So we talked a lot about pigeons. So let's go back to the media now. As a media,
Ali, you got us first into mosquitoes and then zoologists and then pigeons, and
pigeon. I don't know what's
we're
coming
talking about
later.
media.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna come later. Okay. So media and society. Anything you want to tell me about that?
Well, basically, media played a huge role in the society. One of the roles is to transfer the information or the news. This is one of the biggest thing that media does, and it started off that way in the beginning, where it
Yeah.
transfers news. So just imagine how it used to be in the past. If you are staying in, let's say, Muscat, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying in Dubai. So I want to transfer the news that we have been defeated and the army has taken over our country. So I go and run like 3 kilometers to get my horse, and then I get on my horse for another 4 days until I come and tell you in Dubai that we've been defeated. And then you send me back again to tell my people that okay, an army from Dubai is going to come and help us. The time that this guy comes back to Oman, we're all dead and halas, it's
But
game over.
do you take your passport with you when you go to Dubai?
No, there is no passport at that time. There is no passport. That's the
Oh.
only advantage. There is no
Oh.
passport. But basically, the transfer of information and news was very slow in the past.
Mm.
So media agencies, they started off as a way to transfer the news, especially the current hot news that's happening at the moment. That was one of the way to do it. And
Mm.
another role is to connect between leadership and the people.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of sending, they used to call it in the past faraman, which is a royal decree, to
Mm-hmm.
the people. Someone goes to the market and reads it in front of everybody. Now media is used to cascade that that information to your people. So
Yeah.
leadership, normally they have a speech, and everyone in the nation would be listening to that speech. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
direct connection between the leadership and the people. And then
Mm.
also you have uh, customs, traditions. You want to embed that into the
Mm.
people, especially in the next generation. And you see in the national days and the Muscat Festival and other occasions, you have the media covering the
Mm.
heritage, the culture, the tradition, dance, the costumes, and everything. That is the role of the media to transfer that. Okay, if someone opens the channel of Oman, they
Mm.
would know that okay, this is the culture of Oman.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
if there's only movies and series and other stuff, someone will not identify. Okay, what does Oman stand for, and what
Yeah.
do the people do? What do they eat? What do they wear?
And this is
And
this
so
is
on.
one thing that I like, that we still have that tradition, and we are very proud of that tradition, and we try to picturize it in a different way, so that especially nowadays that we have the whole world can watch a channel as opposed to the past. So all that message goes outside, especially to the Western world.
Yeah.
When they don't understand what Arab world is about.
One more thing, Ali, is to defend your nation. You use
Mm-hmm.
media.
Yeah.
Lately, when you have your identity stolen away from you, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
from different parties, the diplomatic way to respond to that is through media, is to do programs, documentaries, talking about, your heritage, your culture, your history. That's how you respond to others. You don't
Mm-hmm.
go through aggression. You don't point fingers and so on. So, for example, we had an incident where some famous figures, Omani figures, like Ahmed bin Majid and Salt bin Malik, those are, famous figures in the Omani history.
Yeah.
And we came to know that they are labeled that they are from a different nation, not Oman. So the
Mm-hmm.
way Oman responded through their media is to do documentaries talking about where they were born, where they were raised, what did they do. So that
Mm-hmm.
is the role of the media to defend uh, our nations.
True. But let's not forget also that the media, or especially there are a group of people, when they hear the word media, uh, the word entertainment comes into their mind. So, what can you tell me about entertainment?
Yes, entertainment has become a very big part of the media. in the past, Ali, we did not have entertainment, much entertainment uh, in the media, but now it's a big business
Mm-hmm.
because the most viewed programs in media is entertainment, and because of this, a lot of companies are advertising their products and services through these entertainment shows,
Mm-hmm.
which leads to the industry booming in entertainment shows. So you have reality TV, you have series, you have talk shows. All these things they bring a lot of money to the
Mm.
industry, and they have a lot of viewership. So this is what the industry are looking for. This is what businessmen are looking for. So sometimes you'd find in a series or in a program someone eating in McDonald's or having, drinking Pepsi or Starbucks or something. This is
Yeah.
not coincidentally there in that movie or series. It is there because
Mm-hmm.
they've been paid. They've been paid to propagate their products through these entertainment programs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but let's also not forget when we talk about the entertainment, we have the positive type of entertainment and then the negative one. But what I notice is most of the viewers, I don't know if you agree with me, most of the viewers go actually to the negative side of it. Let's say if there's a reality show that talks about a husband and wife that had a fight, and then they bring them both together and they fight in front of public. I think that type of a show attracts more people. And if I go back to the news, again, people might get more attracted to the bad news than the good news. So I don't know why do we have this kind of thing that every time we try to look at the negative and be attracted to it more and more.
I think we need to distinguish between the reality of the media and money making. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, these agencies, media agencies, that they are doing these programs, they
Mm-hmm.
don't care about good or bad. They don't care about anything except money. So to them, they will do anything to get money.
Mm.
And us as humans, we are affected by emotions. So when a show is very smooth, everything is going very well, there's no drama, there's no fighting, there's no divorce, there's no corruption and bribe, and the hero doesn't get hit with a bullet and then he survives, then it becomes boring.
Mm.
And then
You you took me back to the
you lose
movie.
audience.
Yeah, you took me back to the movie Titanic. And that movie is a story that happened in the past. But then I think that the dramatic part, that happened, that maybe exaggerated the movie. I think that's the part which attracted more people, rather than the real story of the ship sinking. So.
Because Ali, to be honest, who is going to watch a movie for 3 hours about a ship that sinks?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
boring.
Unless it's a
It's
documentary.
yeah. So basically, if you don't get the emotional element in it,
Mm.
the suspense, the characters, the scenario, the
Mm-hmm.
discussions, the views of the ship, sunrise, sunset, uh, under the deck, so you get the viewer interested in what is being presented. Otherwise, it
Mm.
becomes very boring.
And this is where people get segregated. You'll have two types of people. The person who likes to read books, as opposed to somebody who would like to watch, let's say Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. I personally would like to watch the movie rather than read. But there are people who would say, no, I think reading is better because it will open that imaginations for you to think more, and it will have more stories within the book than you actually watch on television. In
I
television,
think
everything is there. You can see the person, you can see the grass and everything. There is no way for you to imagine anything beyond that. But when you read a book, it's different.
Ali, it's a change in generation. We had very little. We had very little TV shows and movies and so on. So we had the opportunity to imagine things. But now with this generation, it's a totally different generation, and
Mm-hmm.
people stopped reading, unfortunately. And and the more graphics, the more movement, the more colorful it is
Mm-hmm.
more appealing to them. If
But
you
but but.
look at the Discovery channels,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
okay, they are educational. You would really learn a lot on
Mm-hmm.
these educational channels more than reading the books, because
Exactly.
reading the books will take you a lot of effort, long time. But
Mm-hmm.
when you watch these programs, they are summarized, they are visual, they are audio. You would benefit out of them, and you would be entertained, and anyone can watch them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is the shift in the presentation of
Yeah,
media
but
from.
but see, this is the thing, and this is where the market opens up. So every time a person into the marketing, whoever is in the marketing, will seek such kind of opportunities when there is a requirement for something. They have realized that there are people who don't read, as you mentioned, and because of that,
Yeah.
there's a different shift, which is movies. I don't know what's going to be in future when people stop watching television. In fact, I think people have actually stopped watching television and moved towards internet at the moment. What's after internet? I don't know yet.
I think, Ali, a lot of products are coming out in the market now in terms of visual reality and 4D and 5D and so on.
Mm-hmm.
These are the way forward, and they have started implementing this in some cinemas, where you
Mm-hmm.
have the rocking chair, the smoke that comes into the room, and the 4D. Oh, you have it. You already have it. Okay.
The virtual
So
reality. I think this is
that's
this is the
virtual
trend right
reality.
now. Yeah, that's the trend
Yeah.
right now. Don't
But
know if you can see it.
but for every new technology, Ali, there's always going to be a development and advancement. So what
Mm-hmm.
you have now, maybe after 3 years, will be obsolete. Nobody's going to use that anymore. It's going to be, maybe you don't need to wear anything. You're going to have only contact lens in your eyes, and then it projects
Yes,
everything
that's
else
that's
in
scary.
front
That's
of you.
scary. I remember one of the shows where they try to pitch for new businesses. A person actually introduced something, a chip that you can put. I don't know. They'll do an operation and put in your brain. I don't know. It's something to do with the memory. But then he received a negative feedback about that. He said, "How you expect in a person, a human being, to have a chip embedded in his head?" So, but this is what's happening now. People are surprised, but in future maybe they'll be normal. I don't know. Again,
Ali, if we go back to the generation of our grandfathers who
mm-hmm.
did not have the privilege of having mobile phones,
Yeah.
if we show them now the show that we
Mm-hmm.
are doing at the moment, me and you sitting in your house and I'm sitting in my house, they would
Oh.
say this is voodoo,
Mm-hmm.
this is black magic,
Voodoo mean
and
ablution? Voodoo
not voodoo with a V,
with a V.
V
Oh,
for
okay.
V for potato.
Voodoo is like a crystal ball and all that. Okay, sha'wada. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the chip that you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
the next generation, they're going to have it, and it's going to be something normal.
It'll
Me
be
and you are
normal.
surprised.
Mm-hmm.
We find it unethical to have this chip in our body, but the
Mm-hmm.
next generation is going to be something okay to have.
Yeah.
Let us not forget that the means might differ,
Mm-hmm.
but the message is one. What is projected from the media? What do you
Mm-hmm.
get out of media? What are the values that you get out of media? This is what we want to focus about today, and I want to give you an example of media, how they use psychology in changing the perspective of people.
Mm-hmm.
In Europe, I think after the World War II, if I'm not mistaken, it was a taboo for women to smoke. Okay, so they didn't have any women who smoked in public. It was something like strange and a taboo. So they wanted to propagate this idea and to start this industry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew that if women could get into this, it's going to be something that is very cool, and then everyone else is going to join. So they got a very popular figure in the society. I don't remember if she was an actress or a singer, and they got her to hold a cigarette or smoke a cigarette during her show, during filming that episode, and then it was broadcast. So it was not broadcast as an ad for cigarettes, but just at her
An
appearing on the
idea.
screen, holding the cigarette and
Mm.
smoking, it was like poof, a
Mm-hmm.
mind-blowing thing to all women that, oh, it's something very cool to do.
Mm-hmm.
We want to smoke as well. We want to do it in public. And it became something okay. And then it started getting popular. So a lot of these industries, when they want to introduce something new, a product, a service, they go to these celebrities or these figures,
Mm-hmm.
and they pay them, to use these things, and then they become the normal thing to do in
And you
society.
don't even know if they're actually using the product or if they're just advertising it.
Yes, yes, yes. So I remember when MJ, Michael Jackson, did an ad of Pepsi,
Mm-hmm.
and they paid him a lot of money. And one of the things that he had to do, he had to drink Pepsi during the filming of the commercial. And literally, after he died, a lot of reports were written on he didn't actually drink the Pepsi because he is against the idea of consuming
Mm.
soft drinks. So the tin was a Pepsi, or the bottle was a Pepsi, but what was inside was not Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
But to the audience, it showed that, oh, Mike MJ is so cool, he's drinking Pepsi, and everybody's going to drink Pepsi. Yeah, and you're drinking tequila or what?
But see, that's the thing.
Okay.
When they put wrong people and who don't have that value, but okay, I'm gonna make a lot of money if I advertise this product. I think that if it's against your value, then you shouldn't do it. Straightforward.
Well, I think at the end of the day, Ali, everything is about money.
Mm-hmm.
You would be concerned with values and your religion and so on, but that's not with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is different. To
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
it's just money making.
I'm making money. Yeah, doesn't matter whether there's a need or not. A big amount of money is coming. What do you think about also the fashion shows as part of media?
Yeah, Ali, when media started propagating fashion shows and catwalks and so on, you feel so bad about yourself because you see the imperfection in yourself, because you see
Exactly.
all these great bodies. Everyone is so dressed up. The hair, you imagine that these people get up in the morning, they look like that,
Hmm.
glamorous, and it makes you feel so bad. It makes you feel so pressured that you need to be like them.
Hmm.
You need to dress up like them. You need to look like them. So it's part of the entire media game to propagate this. Because Ali, honestly speaking, who bothers what you're wearing?
Hmm.
I'm wearing this hoodie. You know, whether it is made in Oman or made in Las Vegas doesn't make a difference. It won't add anything to you. Whether I
Yeah.
shave
Yeah.
or not, whether I'm good
Exactly.
looking or not, it doesn't make a difference to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But, but because what we see on the screens every single day, we see the six packs, and we see the great body, we see the
Hmm.
tan, and we see the hairstyle. We are so confused that this is the norm, and we are abnormal, but it's the other
Yeah.
way around.
In fact, I think they're living a different type of life. If we go back and talk about the models for fashion shows, I think they go through a diet. They cannot have that freedom of enjoying their life in terms of eating. I don't know. Maybe I will get some backbite and all that from other people. But honestly, seriously, I mean, are you really enjoying when you stop eating your food because I've just increased 1 inch or 2 inches. Oh, look at my tummy. And every time you're up on that scale, just so that you keep yourself that fit. But honestly speaking, again, I don't know if I should say this.
Ali, Ali, I would rather be a happy overweight than a fit miserable guy, because I only live once, and I'm sure the people in the fashion industry, they've never tried Mandi. The day they're gonna try Mandi,
Oh, Mandy. How about we go after this show and and have some Mandy?
don't get crazy ideas, Ali.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's the value, and then the belief, and then the lifestyle that you live at the end of the day. Yeah, enjoy your life. Enjoy your life to the best. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Arab world and media in the Arab world. What do you think about that? In terms of, let's start.
Well, I think
we've moved from entertainment. Let's shift to the entertainment in the Arab world.
Well, I think media has boomed in the Arab world as well. You can see the amount of TV channels, satellite channels increasing every single day, especially the majority of them are in the entertainment business. But it has consumed a lot of our time, has consumed a lot of our efforts, and we are lacking of originality in our programs. A lot of these programs are copied from Western programs, which is a pity and shame, because sometimes these programs are not compatible with our culture, religion, way of life. Not everything that works in the West will work in the Middle East or in the Arab world as well. And we have seen also the Arab media have played a huge role in increasing the gap between people. As I'll start off by speaking about the religious channels. The amount of religious channels that we have are very few compared to the Western world. But unfortunately, these channels are supposed to be a guidance to humanity, and to preach people to the right direction and to love one another. They unfortunately propagate hate. They debate. They call one another infidel. They either you're with us or against us. That mentality.
Are you talking
So,
about within the same religion, that kind of conflict?
Yes, within the same religion. Yeah, within the same religion.
Mhm.
I'm a strong believer of we start cleaning our homes before cleaning other people's houses.
Yeah.
So we are not doing very well in that area, Ali, in the religious channels. And at the same time, a lot of political driven agendas are there in our channels. So a lot of disputes, and that if I ask you, Ali, how many people are still watching their national channels today? You would have very, very few people.
I think it's occasional. I think it's occasional, depending on when are you watching it, and otherwise.
There are two main reasons for this. The first reason is that the lack of creativity. They are too traditional. They don't go out of the box. They don't cover what is going on in the real world today. And a lot of these channels are driven by a government agenda. So it is only projecting what the government wants you to project in the Arab world in general. I'm speaking of. I would give a classical example in one of the Arab countries where there was a riot, and they took over the government. The army took over the government, And when you switched on the national TV channel
Mhm.
of that country, you would find a series and everybody's happy as if everything is okay. And then the news broadcast comes and nobody
Mhm.
talks about, the riot on the streets, people dying and this. So it's really, really deceiving. And it is driven by, an agenda. And that
Mhm.
made people, move towards social media better than being in the mainstream media where it's not really authentic most of the time.
Yeah, and in social media you have the choice to use whatever you want, to watch whatever you want. Uh,
Yes.
but however, I'll go back to the topic that we talked about before, because you mentioned about the conflicts within the religion itself. If you go to YouTube and search for how many viewers actually watch a religious channel, I think it'll be less, as opposed to if they're watching a religious channel that has conflicts. If the religious channel only talks about
I
the sunan and what you need to do, what you stop doing, and all the conditions, as opposed to if you're talking about the conflicts, and maybe if you talk against another scholar, that where you find more
I
viewers.
Ali, I have done a small survey because I'm in the media business and I do religious programs
Mm-hmm.
in various languages, and I follow up and see the viewership of these programs.
Mm-hmm.
And I notice, as you have mentioned correctly, that the viewership is higher when there is
Mm-hmm.
conflict, when there are people cursing, when there are people shouting, when people debating. And this shows also our sick mentality that this is what we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And we're happy to see these things, because if we are disagreeing with what is going on, we wouldn't be watching such nonsense. We
Yeah.
wouldn't be wasting our time with such nonsense. But because we are enjoying it, we like it, we are promoting it, that's why you have 2 million, 3 million, views on such programs. At the
Mm-hmm.
same time, the useful programs that we have that are religious, that are authentic, that are good, they're not very creative. They're very dull. You don't have
Yeah.
trained
Yeah.
people who could speak and present the religion in a modern way, in a graphic way, in a way that is compatible with the way young people are thinking. And that is a problem, Ali. We
Yeah.
have just replicated the experience of the mosque onto a screen, onto
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, but we haven't changed anything. Yes, the message is right, the message is authentic, the message is true, but our style, our way, our presentation is the same as the presentation in the mosque. And this
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't work.
It doesn't
Nobody's going to
work.
come and watch
Who
you.
who is who is your audience? That's the question you need to ask always before you start anything. So
Yeah,
if your
definitely.
audience are people who actually go to the masjid, you will talk to them differently as opposed to people who don't go to the mosque, and they're into other they have other thinkings. Maybe their mentality is different from other people. So we need to first understand that mentality, and based on that, you create a show. And for example, when we talked
Yes.
about chat away, this our particular show, and I'm not trying to here to advertise and say anything good or bad about it. Always we remember when we ask who are our target audience here. So then I think
Wait, I know, I know. All the honeys and the babes. That's what you told me. That's what you told me in the beginning. I'm gonna get you into trouble, Ali. You're gonna regret the day you invited me to your show.
okay. Anyway, so yeah, mainly our viewers is, I would say, everybody. But if we try to specifically talk about a certain topic, maybe every episode will be different. Like for example, I have advertised. If you saw the poster of this particular show, this particular episode, I put 18 plus. So this is not really meant for children. And why? Because I think some of the topic will not be of their interest, and some of the topic will actually be harsh. And maybe that's something I would like to talk about before we end the show, is that the negative in the world, and how the world view things differently. So, for example, if we talk specifically about cartoons, now cartoons is mainly meant for children. Nowadays it's not, but let me go a little bit back in the past when we used to watch some cartoons. And at that time, because we had that innocent heart and mind, we did not think much about it. We just saw it as a cartoon, a moving picture. But now that we grew up, we have realized that there are a few messages within those cartoons that maybe we were not aware of. Let's take as an example Popeye. Let me just show you this picture here. What do you see in the picture? What can you tell me about this picture? Did you do that by looking at the guy's muscle or what?
Obviously not. I mean, it takes me like 35 years back.
See, but look, see this cartoon.
Well, I think.
If you look at this cartoon, this particular cartoon, they talked about something positive, which is eating spinach will make you strong. And you know that taste of spinach is really, really awful, especially for children. But if you make such cartoon, and in fact, my son, he watched this cartoon, and right after he watched this cartoon, he started eating spinach. That was something positive. Now, if you look at why Popeye normally eats spinach, it's because of this evil called Brutus, who chases Olive Oil, which I don't know up until now. Is she Popeye's girlfriend or wife? I have no idea.
Well, yeah, God knows. I don't know. I'm not so sure. Because it seems like a lot of times, she was very interested in Blutos, but she's stuck with Popeye. We didn't know whether she is married to both of them, or she's the wife of Popeye, or what exactly, because she always sent indication to Blutos that she's interested in him, while she's always with Popeye. So,
but the question is, why do children have to watch this? A big man with beard, chasing a girl, and then they fight, to get her. And this is just one example of the cartoon. The idea, I'm talking about the idea.
The idea, Ali, again, is excitement. For kids, you want to entertain them, excitement with the story. And the story without an action, the story with a good ending, with everybody being happy and nice, is not so entertaining.
It doesn't matter. For the child, it doesn't matter what story is. As long as there is a moving picture, I think it'll be attractive enough for children. They don't care about what happens.
Yes.
So but this is the thing. When we watch this, then that gets embedded in our brains, and we start looking into the world differently. Okay, he's chasing a girl. He's a guy chasing a girl. What am I supposed to do? I'm a guy. Maybe the girl will say, I'm a girl now. What I have to do, So it will embed. This is one of the things. Another thing is violence, and I'm sure you've seen what happens between Tom and Jerry.
Oh, the classical ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, imagine looking at these pictures now. Jerry trying to bomb Tom. Tom is trying to bomb Jerry, and then there's Jerry will get slaughtered. And then, not to forget, whenever there is this cute kitten that comes in the show, every cat in the whole village or town comes and visits Tom because of this girl, this kitten.
Everyone is a big fan of this cutie.
Yeah. So see, again, now we go back.
I think Ali, what you're trying to say is that, what do our kids get out of it? What is the message? Do we want them only to watch it to be entertained, or do we want them to watch it to get, benefit, to get values out of them? And if you remember cartoons such as Sally and Tom Sawyer and Fiona, and all, these type of cartoons, you have a story which is moral, which is It is a sad story. It shows you the struggle, the dedication, the hard work, the
Mm-hmm.
belief, and so on. You get out of that experience emotionally attached,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to follow those values and implement them in your life. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's just entertainment things moving with no clear objective, it becomes, a waste of time, and it becomes just an entertainment, and you
Exactly.
don't get the benefit out of it. I remember recently watching with my kids the animation movie Bilal,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very entertaining. It was very graphic. There's a lot of colors and pictures and the sound effects and so on, and the story was amazing. And my kids started asking about this character. Who is this character? What did he do? And where did he,
Mm-hmm.
what was his relation with the Prophet? And how did he become a
Mm-hmm.
Muslim? And so on. So they got attached to the character. They found a role model in that character. But if it's you know,
Mm-hmm.
just pictures
It's a
moving
random, just a random moving picture. But see, this is one of the things, and I'm talking now about negatives. Uh, how are Arabs seen in the Western world? The many movies in Hollywood, whenever they mentioned or put an Arab character in the movie, they always put him in a negative role. So what do you think? If you can give me even in words, and I'll give you just a few words. Whenever they talk about Arab, what comes in their mind? What's in Arab? Backward, stupid, des-
backward,
mhm, des-
loud,
very loud,
very
desert,
violent, very rude,
camel, camel,
women
goat,
belly dancing,
belly dancing. Yes, with a transparent trouser.
a lot of money,
A lot. That
trying
see
to buy,
that see. So now you
trying
have
to buy property.
you have segregated two different peoples, two different levels. The first level we talked about is the desert guy, yeah, which have all the magic carpet, the turban, the goats, the camels, you name it. The other ones are the Lamborghini, the Ferrari type of people. So there is nothing in
Yeah,
between. It's either the desert people or the lavish
the car.
life. I'm just going to play a small clip here, just to see.
Okay.
So this is an Arab, and that's the Western guy. He is doing his move and everything, and that was the only thing he did.
Before we start drilling, where should we park the camels?
Well, what do you
Children
call
show.
them Arabs? He looks at me and he says, well, hell, Ralph, we just call them sand niggers.
Now look at Iron Man trying to save the world, and he goes to this place to identify an evil, and he finds niqabi people, niqabi women. I don't know why they're niqabis when there are no men in this place, and they suddenly like, you have saved the world. I don't know, were they locked inside that room, and when they saw Iron Man they just went out? I don't understand. But see, here what you're seeing is two different type of people. The people with technology, yeah, who have every kind of technology and make Iron Man and anything, this uh, electronics, computer, you name it. And then you see the desert people who are living the very old style life that we talk about, 60s and 70s and maybe even the 15th century.
Ali, sorry to stop you, but the desert people who have the highest tower in the world, are they the same desert people are you talking about?
Did I talk about
Yeah,
the desert? So I talk about the desert and the lavish.
the same,
It is the
desert
same.
people who
Uh-huh.
the same
Yeah.
desert people who have Formula One tracks in their country, the same desert people
No,
who
no,
have
no.
underground sea hotels,
Now
the same
you're
desert
talking
people who
about
have.
you're talking about the second type of people that they see, the Lamborghini people. You got my point now? There's nothing in
Okay.
between. There's nothing in between. You will either see this or that. And they will show you, there's a prince. I am a prince. I came here. And the R will be the Arabic R. I am a prince here. And then he'll be surrounded by women.
Women
And normally they're blonde.
and,
I don't know why.
and a briefcase full of money.
And a briefcase and the big turban with aqal. That's the typical Arab. I hope that changes. And I'm talking to to Hollywood if they're watching. I don't know if they're watching. I don't know how many viewers we have anyway. But if you guys are watching, please try to change your view or perspective about Arabs. We're not like that. We're not like that.
But I want to make something very clear, Ali, before we leave. I think we're running out of time. Is that it's not that they don't know the truth. They don't know that Arabs are not like that. They know very well.
It's an ignorance.
They are more intelligent than me and you, Ali. They know exactly what they are doing, but they are doing it intentionally. There's a difference when someone does something out of ignorance, they don't know, and when they do it intentionally with an agenda.
Yeah.
Okay? They're trying to send out a message. They're trying to propagate a specific stereotype about Arabs and Muslims and so on. And this is the only way to do it. So they are doing it intentionally.
But let me still give credits to some of them who made, for example, Salah ad-Din's movie, if you remember. And they showed the nice Salah ad-Din who respected people around, and that was one of those good works. I don't know any other movie. I don't know if you can remind me.
How many good movies that portray Muslims and Arabs in a good way compared to the negative ones? How many can you count? How many?
No, almost none. I would say, almost none. And this is where our job comes, to send such messages, and by making nice movies that talk about Arab and the Islamic world.
Ali,
because if it doesn't come from us,
I think
if it doesn't come from our side, then people will always take it differently. So it is our
Ali,
job.
Before we leave, I think it's good to show everyone the lyrics of Aladdin.
Oh, okay.
Our most favorite cartoon, where our kids love the characters, Prince Ali, and so on. And sometimes with a lovely song, with the background, the drums, Will Smith performing it in the best way, you don't really listen to what they say. So please just educate us, Ali.
Okay, I'll just read it, the lyrics of this song from Aladdin. That of course it has been altered later, but it started like this: "Oh, I come from a land, from a faraway place, where the caravan camels roam, where they cut off your face. Oh no, so where they cut off your ear, if they don't like your face. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home." So imagine, that is an Arab singing. It's been altered. I don't remember what the change was, but see, it came to their mind at the beginning. That was the first thing that came in your mind. It doesn't matter if it has been altered. Okay, fine, good. You have altered it. You did a good job. But why did you even have that from the beginning?
And the thing about lyrics, Ali, they will always stick to your mind. If they in a very good melody, the kids memorize it. They repeat the words. They stick in your mind that you don't know what it is, and it's embedded in your subconscious mind.
So, in fact, if you go to, you just reminded me of something, and this is something to all the businessmen who have shops and stores, especially in the Arab world. If you ever play an English song, please try to understand what it says, because sometimes I go to this shop with children, and then you see the guy singing and saying things that Allahu A'lam, yani, should I applaud for that or what? They start.
What do they say?
What do they say? I don't want to mention what do they say. I don't even have. Do I have the beep? Yes. They say things like. And this is the problem, because we don't understand the language. We will just play whatever song there is. The F word is there. The other words are there.
You remind me, Ali, when I was a teenager. Sorry, I was in my late teens. I bought my first car, and I bought a CD track of Tupac, and it was the famous song "Hit 'Em Up," and I played it and switched off the car. So my dad was going to the mosque, and he used my car. So when he switched on the car,
Ooh.
they
Okay.
see the track started playing, and it was like. I mean, I cannot even. There was no lyrics. There was just the F word from the beginning till the end. And my dad came back home. He was really, really, really pissed. And I got a very long lecture about lyrics. And I never realized how bad it was until my dad, sat with me and made me listen to it, slowly, and understand what is being said in that track. So I'm not telling everyone to go and listen to Hit 'Em Up, Tupac. You don't need to listen to it, but it's very bad.
Just read the lyrics. Yeah.
Ali, I think we came to the end of the show. It's past my bedtime.
Is it?
See you next week, inshallah. Yeah, it's almost 9.
Okay, let me just, before we end, let me just remind our viewers to please like and share this episode. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe and hit that indication button so that you can get all the notifications. Please, please, and please once again. Yep.
Thank you.
So with that,
Take care
I
of
think,
yourself, Ali.
are you on my left side? Yes,
Salam.
you are. Okay, Hatim. Have a great day. No, it's on the other side.
Oh,
on the other
this
side.
way.
Yes. All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, alaikum assalam.